In this video, we are going to discuss how to optimize cost in our AWS infrastructure. So just by moving existing architectures into the cloud, organizations can reduce capital expenses and drive savings as a result of the AWS economies of scale. By iterating and making use of more AWS capabilities, there is further opportunity to create cost-optimized cloud architectures. This section discusses the main principles of optimizing for cost with AWS cloud computing. The one is right sizing, another is elasticity, and third one is taking advantage of the variety of purchasing options. Now let's discuss right sizing in detail. So AWS offers a broad range of resource types and configurations to suit a plethora of use cases. For example, services like Amazon EC2, Amazon RDS, Amazon Redshift, and Amazon Elasticsearch Service gives you a lot of choice of instance types. In some cases, you should select the cheapest type that suits your workload's requirement. In other cases, using fewer instances of a larger instance type might result in lower cost, total cost, or better performance. You should benchmark and select the right instance type depending on how your workload utilizes CPU, RAM, network, storage size, and I/O input output. Similarly, you can reduce cost by selecting the right storage solution for your needs. For example, Amazon S3 offers a variety of storage classes, including standard, redundant, reduced redundancy, and standard infrequent access. Other services such as Amazon EC2, Amazon RDS, and Amazon ES support different Amazon Elastic Block Store volumes types like magnetic, general purpose SSD, and provisioned IOPS SSD. And we have to evaluate what will be good for our infrastructure, our resource. So according to that, we can just select one of these to suit our needs and also keeping the cost in mind. So continuous monitoring and tagging, that is also a very important thing that need to be done in a cloud infrastructure because we have to monitor our resources if they are getting utilized properly or they are like they are tagged and somebody else, the admins are not just launching the resources without any notice or without any use. So that we can tackle by using tagging and monitoring. So cost optimization is an iterative process. Your application and its usage will evolve through time. In addition, AWS iterates frequently and regularly releases new options. AWS provides tools to help you identify those cost saving opportunities and keep your resources right sized. To make these tools outcomes easy to interpret, you should define and implement a tagging policy for your AWS resources. You can make tagging a part of your build process and automate it using AWS management tools like AWS Elastic Beanstalk and AWS OpsWorks. You can also use the managed rules provided by AWS Config to assess whether specific tags are applied to your resources or not. So this concludes right sizing. Now the next topic is elasticity. So another way you can save money with AWS is by taking advantage of the platform's elasticity. Plan to implement auto scaling for as many Amazon EC2 workloads as possible so that you horizontally scale up when needed and scale down and automatically reduce your spend when you don't need all that capacity anymore. In addition, you can automate turning off non-production workloads when not in use. So ultimately, consider which compute workloads you could implement on AWS Lambda so that you never pay for idle or redundant resources. Where possible, replace Amazon EC2 workloads with AWS managed services that either don't require you to take any capacity decisions, for example, ELB, Amazon CloudFront, Amazon SQS, Amazon Kinesis, and Lambda, and Amazon SES and Cloud Search, or enable you to easily modify capacity as and when need, like Amazon DynamoDB, Amazon RDS, and Amazon Elasticsearch service. You can also take advantage of the variety of purchasing options. That is the third point in this slide. So Amazon EC2 on-demand instance pricing gives you maximum flexibility with no long-term commitment. So there are two more ways to pay for Amazon EC2 instances that can help you reduce spend, like and these are reserved instances and spot instances. So Amazon EC2 reserved instances allow you to reserve Amazon EC2 computing capacity in exchange for a significantly discounted early rate compared to on-demand instance pricing. This is ideal for applications with predictable minimum capacity requirements. So you can take advantage of tools like the AWS Trusted Advisor or Amazon EC2 Users Reports to identify the compute resources that you use most of the time and that you should consider reserving. Depending on your reserve instance purchases, the discounts will be reflected in the monthly bill. But note that there is technically no difference between an on-demand EC2 instance and a reserve instance. The difference lies in the way you pay for instances that you reserve. Reserved capacity options exist for other services as well. For example, Amazon Redshift, Amazon RDS, Amazon DynamoDB, and Amazon CloudFront. There is a tip I would like to suggest here, that you should not commit to reserve instance purchases before sufficiently benchmarking your application in production. After you have purchased reserve capacity, you can use the reserved instance utilization reports to ensure you are still making the most of your reserve capacity. Now, another one is spot instances. For less steady workloads, you can consider the use of spot instances. Amazon EC2 spot instances allow you to bid on spare Amazon EC2 computing capacity. Since spot instances are often available at a discount compared to on-demand pricing, you can significantly reduce the cost of running your applications. Spot instances are ideal for workloads that have flexible start and end times. Your spot instance is launched when your bid exceeds the current spot market price and will continue run until you choose to terminate it, or until the spot. So your spot instance is launched when your bid exceeds the current spot market price and will continue run until you choose to terminate it, or until the spot market price exceeds your bid. If the spot market price increases above your bid price, your instance will be terminated automatically and you will not be charged for the partial hour that your instance has run. As a result, spot instances are great for workloads that have tolerance to interruption. However, you can also use spot instances when you require more predictable availability. Bidding strategy. You are charged the spot market price, not your bid price. For as long as the spot instance run, your bidding strategy should be to bid much higher than that, with the expectation that even if the market price occasionally spikes, you should still be saving a lot of cost in the long term. Another thing is mixing the spot instances with on demand. So consider mixing reserved on demand and spot instances to combine a predictable minimum capacity with opportunistic access to additional compute resources depending on the spot market price. This is a great way to improve throughput or application performance. Now, spot blocks for defined duration workloads. You can also bid for fixed duration spot instances. These have different hourly pricing but allow you to specify a duration requirement. If your bid is accepted, your instance will continue to run until you choose to terminate it or until the specified duration has ended. Your instance will not be terminated due to changes in the spot price, but of course, you should still design for fault tolerance because a spot instance can still fail like any other EC2 instance. Here are some spot pricing best practices. I would suggest spot pricing allow you to bid on multiple instances types simultaneously. Because price fluctuate independently for each instance type in an availability zone, you can often get more compute capacity for the same price if your app is designed to be flexible about instance types. Test your application on different instances types when possible and then bid on all instance types that meet your requirement to further reduce cost.